Welcome to the On Deck podcast presented by LineStar. I'm Shannon Sommerville here with Tyler Wiemann, ready to break down your daily fantasy baseball slate for today. We got a little mini slate, just a little 5-gamer. We'll also have your prop bets and your home run calls. It is Thursday, August 18th. It is Bad Poetry Day. Got a little surprise for you, Tyler.
Oh boy, I love surprises
got
like
a nice
this.
treat.
We
Here
got
we
SpongeBob, we got bad poems. Let's go.
Well, we did a limerick when it was National Limerick Day,
Yes.
so I could not resist the opportunity on Bad Poetry Day.
These are my favorite days.
Here we go. Ahem. Roses are red, violets are blue. The On Deck podcast starts now with the usual crew. Breaking down today's baseball fantasy slate. We'll also have prop bets. Today's show is gonna be great.
I love it. Just get excited. Get pumped.
Let's get this show on the road. Here we go. Speaking of poetry,
A little victory lap coming?
we had a very poetic finish to last night's Yankee game. How about a walk-off grand slam? Josh Donaldson, do your thing. Thank you for getting us back on track. Hey, the Yankees are back.
I do have to laugh at your dramatic take to me last night after it happened. Mm-hmm. It saved the season.
Josh Donaldson saved the
Saved the
He
season.
saved the season. We're going to the World Series.
You guys are still have a commanding lead of first, and that saved the season.
Saved the season, really. We were going nowhere real fast.
I was cracking
That
up
lead
that
would have
last
been
night.
9 games. That would be
Oh, no.
single-digit lead
Oh
for the
no!
AL East. Oh,
9-game
would've been
lead. What would you guys
disastrous.
do?
this is the life when we're in first. I know you don't really recognize that as
Oh,
a Padres
boy.
fan. However,
Oh boy, you're just gonna kick me when I'm down. Still reeling off the
up the
Tatis.
Tatis. Yes, that is
Gotta
insensitive
kick me.
of me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm riding my high, and I feel like superior to everyone when my team wins.
Yes.
It's a long way to go, though. But hopefully
It
we
is.
got back on track yesterday. For today, we've got... Oh, so now in the AL East, things are kind of interesting outside the Yankees.
Yeah,
the
they
bottom
are.
4 teams
Outside
separated.
the Yankees.
Outside.
Jeez. One grand slam.
Did you hear that
And
condescension?
it's only the Yankees that are
Did you hear that
interesting.
condescension
Oh
in my
my
voice?
gosh.
The bottom 4 team.
Who is this girl? I don't even know you anymore.
They're separated by 4 games in contention for that wild card, so it's kind of wild. I kind of like this Orioles squad that's just scrappy.
I love
as
the story.
all get out. Yep.
I love that, they have a lower payroll than Scherzer, but keep doing this. It's great.
It's awesome. All right, so we've got a great pitching matchup
Yes,
for
we do.
today.
Yes, we
DeGrom
do.
versus Max Fried. That's going to be a fun one. A few weather notes for you for today. Yankee Stadium, nice weather, 81 degrees, 5-mile-an-hour wind to right center. So a nice light breeze out to the short porch. Braves Truist Park is 79 degrees. There is a 26% chance of rain. Just same kind of thing as yesterday. A few pop-up storms are in the area, so keep an eye on it.
Now, that's really interesting, too, the fact that DeGrom's on the hill. They've had kind of kid gloves with him. He hasn't thrown more than,
Right.
I think, 76 pitches.
Yeah.
So if he gets a delay,
It's
could
not
get
good.
pulled.
Yeah, that's a really important note there for daily fantasy purposes. If you're watching us on YouTube right now, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment below. Keep up with all the video content we've got coming out. We've also got some football stuff coming out. And, fantasy football season is fast approaching. I know you guys are getting ready for drafts, so make sure to check out
Yeah,
the
we
Pre-Snap
are.
podcast now.
Underdog drafts every day.
Oh, Tyler's addicted
I
to
am so
Underdog
addicted.
best ball drafts.
I am drafting way too much right now.
Hey, when you're a $2 million winner, and I'm going to be begging for some change there, buddy.
Yeah.
That's a big chunk of change for anyone that's interested. Best Ball Fantasy is available on the Underdog Sports app. The link is below to Underdog. Check it out. It's a lot of fun. All you have to do is draft, and then they do it for you the rest of the season.
Shannon's saying, I'm addicted, but she is, too.
I know. You got me into it. You got me hooked. All right, let's take a look at our pitchers for today and our chalk report. And we're going to tell you where the field is going in our high-owned pitchers for today. The high-owned pitcher for today is going to be Yu Darvish going up against the Nationals today. 42% owned on DraftKings, 41% owned on FanDuel. Last game versus the Nationals. He did get hit a little bit. 4 earned runs, 2 home runs in 6 innings, and they lost that game, which is a little surprising, but pretty decent matchup for him today, and you don't see that happening.
No, I don't. And you, outside of that game, has been really good lately. 3.13 FIP over his last 5, 31% K rate. We have a 5-star LineStar alert rating for him today. Our combined K rate for him is 26%, so some solid upside there. Washington has a meh offense now without good old Soto and Bell. You know who they're playing for now?
Yeah.
So you gotta like you. I like him today. It is a short slate, so you're gonna have to eat a little bit chalk somewhere.
I do root for your Padres. I know that
LFG.
I gave you a little hard time at the top, but I would. The Dodgers are just too good, and I just would love to see the Padres take it to them.
Okay. You saved yourself that last little take. Yeah.
They got the best. I mean, the Dodgers do have the best record in baseball.
If you guys can leave some comments below and bring Shannon off her little pedestal, Yankee pedestal.
I'm feeling good today, guys.
Yeah, she is.
A walk-off grand slam will do that to you.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Mets now, because Jacob deGrom's on the hill today, going up against the Braves. He's 41% owned on DraftKings, 20% on FanDuel. He's a must start. I feel like he's just, even though he's not fully back yet, he's on fire. Like, he mows down everybody, even a good team like the Braves. Mm-hmm. What do you think about him for today in fantasy purposes?
Over his last 5 starts, he has a 49% K rate.
Yeah.
Like, it's off the charts good.
Right.
Nobody's even close to him with that. So you gotta like him versus a strikeout-prone team. The only negative, as we talked about a little bit ago, is that he hasn't reached 80 pitches yet. So Mets are absolutely watching his pitch count, making sure he doesn't, extend himself too much. But with those limited pitches, he's still going like 6 innings. Mm-hmm. He is super efficient. He's going to pitch just as far as almost everybody else on the slate. In that limited time, he has a huge strikeout rate, so you got to like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially that 49% strikeout rate.
It's crazy.
6 innings. I can't do math, but that's a lot of strikeouts.
Yeah.
For even 6 innings
He'll
pretty
be
good.
just fine.
Okay. Let's look at the other side of that matchup. It's Max Fried, who's going up against the Mets, 35% owned, and on DraftKings, 12% owned on FanDuel. Do you think he has a good matchup today against the Mets, given they've hit the ball pretty well yesterday?
He's done well against the Mets as a whole. Mm-hmm. I do have to say that I love this pitcher's duel. I might like this one better than Verlander versus Cease.
Verlander versus Cease didn't exactly deliver the way I thought it would. It didn't
deliver.
Yeah.
But I kind of like this one more as it is. So the one bummer thing about Fried is he doesn't have the high upside in the K department as some of these other pitchers. Don't get me wrong, his K rate is fine. It's just not the 30 or the 40% like we see with the other high-owned pitchers. 25. He has a 24% K rate versus the Mets in 137 plate attempts, so he has shown some K upside. It's just not quite as much as the other guys. He also supports a low 2s FIP over his last 5 starts. He is locked in, and he's going to have to pitch amazing to best DeGrom.
Yeah.
And the Mets.
I think it's worth mentioning again. I know we mentioned it at the top of the show for weather, but you brought up an interesting point with the weather and the chance of a pop-up storm or two that it could be a little bit dicey. So
it could be.
It's important to just double check. Okay, are any storms in the area right before you put in your lineup?
This is kind of a normal situation though for
in Atlanta
too. So. Just pay attention to the reports a little bit. Coming up to lock.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Check
now
it out.
Now you're going to get all excited again.
Let's go low-owned. Right-handed pitcher for the Yankees, Frankie Montas, going up against the Blue Jays. 26% owned on DraftKings, 4% owned on FanDuel. Now, I do have to admit that he hasn't been what the Yankees had kind of hoped for when they brought him over. 2 starts with the Yankees and 8 earned runs in 7 innings pitched with just 6 strikeouts, and that's over 2 starts. So against the Blue Jays, who can hit the ball, this is a little bit risky, right?
Yes, but Montas is super cheap.
Yeah. Okay.
So because he hasn't pitched well, those price points have came down significantly, and it makes it really interesting to me. As we know, Blue Jays have a ton of righties, and Montas versus righties has a 228 opponent batting average. He also has 67 Ks and 230 right-handed bat plate attempts. So that's about a 29%.
Okay.
So he has done very well versus righties. I know he hasn't been good yet. 5.8 FIP over the last 5 compared to the 3.6 over his last 20. Personally, I think he is a 3.6 guy. I don't think this recent run is who he is.
Okay.
And so with him being so cheap, I am absolutely willing at taking the chance, especially if he's going low owned.
Exactly. All right. That gives me some hope for Frankie Montas.
Yes.
In the future of the Yankees. But let's get to Pirates righty JT Brubaker going up against the Red Sox today. He's just 8% owned on DraftKings and 3% owned on FanDuel. So leverage is definitely there.
Yep.
His ERA 4.45 and a 2.71 opponent average. What do you like about Brubaker?
So as we've talked about, the Red Sox haven't been that great. They did hit well yesterday, but Brubaker has been really good. 3.5 FIP, 25% K rate over his last 5. And Boston is a high-owned stack today. So we're getting some super nice leverage here. If he pitches well, you're kicking all those high-owned stacks to the curb, and your lineup is getting points while all theirs are just staying static. So I really like the leverage option. He's pitched well, and we're going to have to speak about Brubaker more here.
Yeah.
So
it's a perfect segue to our stacks for the day. And the highest owned stacks right now is the Red Sox, as Tyler mentioned, going up against JT Brubaker. And with that being the highest owned stack, this makes a really interesting play, especially being that this game is in Pittsburgh today.
Yes.
Pitchers Park. And obviously Brubaker, I'm not sure about his splits at home, but usually pitchers tend to like the confines of, their own comfortable
their home,
stadium.
Yeah, their own routine that they're able to get into.
Their own stomping grounds. It's his mound over there.
Yeah.
PNC.
So as you know, I like Brubaker. But here are some reasons why the Boston stack looks good. Brubaker is giving up 40% hard contact, bottom 5 in exit velocity, bottom 5% pitcher in exit velocity, and in barreled balls allowed. Boston could absolutely get to him if they're putting the bat on the ball. There's a 4.6 implied total, so Vegas obviously likes Boston here. I just don't love it. I see a lot of pass for Brubaker.
Yeah, he's a decent pitcher. Let's talk about the Padres. They are also a high-owned stack for today, going up against Anibal Sanchez for the Nats. He's got a 7.2 ERA, 2.86 opponent average, and last game was versus the Padres. He gave up 3 earned runs, including 2 home runs in 5 innings. Quite frankly, he gives up a lot of bombs, and Padres could have a big day today at the plate.
Yeah. Sanchez has been pitching batting practice all year. He has 6 starts. He has allowed at least 3 runs in every start, and 4 of the 6 have been 4 or more runs. Machado's hot. Soto gets on base nonstop. As a team, they're hitting 288 with 6 home runs off Sanchez and 59 plate attempts. Vegas is a 5.6 implied run total. It's no surprise that San Diego is going to be high owned today.
Right.
They're by far the biggest favorites on the slate today.
All right, let's take a look at some lower-owned stacks, and we're looking at the Yankees going up against Blue Jays. Jose Barrios, who's got a 5.61 ERA and a 2.82 opponent average, and he's actually got the highest home run per 9 rate among qualified pitchers, and especially with a light breeze blowing out to right center for today, some warm temperatures in the Bronx. Yankees looking pretty good, especially after last night's Grand Slam, if I haven't mentioned that.
No,
so far
what
show.
happened? I've talked about on the podcast many times you play Wainwright at home. Another thing is you stack against Berrios on the road. Berrios on the road, opponent batting average is .316. He's allowed 15 home runs and 245 plate attempts. It's about 6% of plate attempts go for a home run. He has a .947 OPS on the road. We have 80-degree temps. The winds are blowing out to right center. And we have a pitcher who's bad on the road and giving up 34% hard contact and is bottom 5% in barrel balls allowed. The Yankees haven't been good lately, but yesterday could have kind of energized the whole team, and they could bring out those bats today.
All right. The other stack we're looking at is Rays versus Royals, Brad Keller. He's got a 4.93 ERA, 2.68 opponent average. He got roughed up last time out against the Dodgers, gave up 8 earned runs, including 3 home runs, 3 innings pitched. So definitely a guy that is prone to some blow-up games.
Yeah, he's been giving up a lot of hard contact, ton of barreled balls. And Tampa Bay is kind of a sneaky offense where they put up runs in bunches when they start getting to a pitcher. And Keller hasn't been great, 6.5 FIP, ERA of 8.7 over the last 5. Yeah. So I kind of just want to ride that, streak of Keller just being bad and hope he is one more time.
Yeah, the Rays offense has been pretty good. They were good during the series against the Yankees, and surprisingly.
They're catching up on those Yankees,
huh? Here we go. Still got the 10-game double-digit lead. What about the Padres?
We're under double digits.
For all that information and statistics, and especially the ownership, which is so crucial in daily fantasy, you want to check out LineStarApp.com. It'll give you everything you need: draft optimizer, or DFS optimizer, and all the stats that you need to dominate. So check it out, LineStarApp.com. Make sure to lock in your subscription too before football season starts and the price goes up. Right now, just $19.99. The price goes up to $29.99. So save $10 a month. Lock it in now. Now it is time for our sleeper picks of the day. Our sleeper pick for the day on DraftKings. If you look at the LineStar app, sorting by value, once again, I think this is the 3rd or 4th day in a row, it's been Braves second baseman Vaughn Grissom. But he's delivered for us.
He has.
Today's going up against Jacob deGrom with $2,100 on DraftKings.
At least they raised his price.
They raised his price by $100.
Yep. They're still drunk.
Well, yesterday he put up 21 points, so I hope you plugged him into your lineup yesterday when we told you he was our sleeper. He had a huge day at the plate, 2 for 4, 3 RBI, so an awesome day at the plate. Why not plug him in again? Give him a shot against deGrom, who's a great pitcher, but if it gets to the bullpen, 23rd against righty bats, giving up 2.18 fantasy points per plate attempt. Also a top 5% hitter versus righties. Just take a look at some of the numbers here. 414 average, just incredible, and 381 average on that righty lefty split. So man, he's been delivering in fantasy. So on DraftKings at $2,100, can't go wrong, right?
Yeah, kid's good.
Now let's take a look at our FanDuel sleeper pick of the day. It's gonna be Joey Meneses again.
Against
Joey
good old
M.
Yu Darvish.
Going against Yu Darvish, $2,500. And look at that projection. That's a pretty big difference from Yu Chang there.
Yep, Meneses has been good.
Value. And
still producing.
Yep, still producing. So we're liking him today against Darvish. He's got a 3.5-star alert score. Top 10% hitter versus right-handed pitching. 2.73 fantasy points per plate appearance. And so some good numbers there. Taking a look at some of his splits at the bottom here in the green. 354. His righty-lefty splits 312. Last 20 games, 354. And only $2,500. So a pretty good price point that to take advantage of in fantasy on FanDuel. Remember, you can find all these stats, these value plays on the LineStar app. You can sort by value, projection, salary, all sorts of things, matchup data, alert score that we talk about and how good their matchup is. Just a ton of information that'll help you basically just straight up dominate in these fantasy contests. So check it out, LineStarApp.com. Now it's time for our home run calls of the day. I think it's my favorite segment on this show. Just who's going yard.
Yeah.
Tyler, who you got?
You know, I've given you a lot of shit today for your Yankees, but I'm going with them. With Anthony Rizzo, the king of the short porch is going to live up to his name today. Barrios allows 2.5 home runs per 9 when on the road. We have a lefty-righty matchup. The wind is blowing to right. Rizzo has 6 bombs over the last month, and tonight he's going to make it 7.
I can't believe you're going with a Yankee, and I'm about to go with a Padre. I'm going Manny Machado. He's going up against Nationals righty Anibal Sanchez, who gives up 3 home runs per 9 innings. That's the second highest home run per 9 rate among all pitchers, minimum 30 innings pitched. And Manny Machado, he's on fire. 800 slugging the past 7 days. He's got better splits versus righties, better splits at home, and in 17 at-bats against Sanchez, he has a 471 average with 4 home runs. As if he needed any more advantages, the Nationals bullpen, they give up the 3rd most home runs this season. Machado's hitting a bomb.
That Manny is so hot right now.
All right, I like the Padres, Yankees.
Yep.
Bombs today. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Barrios does have a really high home run per 9, so I like that call as well. Now let's get to our prop bets of the day. Yesterday didn't hit it for me. I'm very disappointed. I thought I was going to cash that one, but nonetheless.
Yep, 1 of 2 doesn't pay out.
It's okay. We'll try again today.
We'll get it today.
Remember to play along with our prop bets contest. All you have to do is like the video, be subscribed to our channel, and comment below. And one lucky commenter can win $60 if both Tyler and I hit our props, which are available on the Underdog Sports app, so you can tail us there as well. Download the Underdog Sports app. Link is below to that. New users who deposit at least $10 can get up to $100 match plus 3 free months of LineStar. Great deal there. Now, let's get right to it. Our props for today on the Underdog Sports app. Where are you headed, Tyler?
Well, shout out to LineStar Chat because it's Braves chat time. We have Max Fried over 4.5 Ks. He has hit this in 4 of his last 5, in 7 of his last 10, and he has done it in his last 6 starts versus the Mets. Underdog is giving away free money with this line of 4.5.
All right. I'm just doubling down on Manny Machado today. I just love his matchup for today. Over 1.5 bases. That is at minus 140 in the sports books. He's hit this in 8 of the last 9 games and going up against Anibal Sanchez, who I've been talking about the whole show. And he gives up an 1159 OPS to righty bats. Keep in mind, league average is 708. Machado, last 7 days OPS, 1352. Folks, that's 644 points higher than the league average, which is just ridiculous. He's hitting over 1.5 bases today.
Who said you're bad at math?
Well, I had to write it down. All right, that's going to do it for us today on the On Deck podcast. Thanks so much for watching. Best of luck to you in all your props and your daily fantasy today. Go crush it out there. We will see you guys tomorrow.
Have a good one, guys. Bye. All right. Busting out.
I got to do my bang this sucker out.
Yeah, you do.
Looking for an edge?